The purpose of this short video is to give you an insight into different study skills. We'll be focusing on the following 4 topics. How do you prepare your brain for revision? Preparation for revision. Strategies that you could use for revision. And finally, taking care of your mental health during revision. We hope you find this useful. Part 1. How do you prepare your brain for revision? There are several things that you can do to prepare your brain for revision. The first is getting plenty of sleep. It's important to get enough sleep to help your brain function at its best. Teenagers should try to get between 8 and 10 hours of sleep per night. Also, you should try to stick to a consistent bedtime routine. Question number 1. How many hours of sleep do you get every night during the school week? Shade in the most appropriate response below, 1 representing 1 hour or 10 representing 10 hours of sleep. In order to prepare your brain for revision, it's also important to switch off any distractions. You should aim to turn off or remove any electronic devices that may distract you from your revision. This includes your mobile phone. It could also involve your laptop or any background noise such as the TV. Question 2a. When completing your homework or studying, do you have your phone in the same room as you? Tick the most appropriate response below. Yes, sometimes, or no. If you answered yes or sometimes, please complete question 2b below. Do you turn off notifications or turn your phone to silent mode when completing homework or study? Exercise has been proven to help people prepare for study. Exercise helps to improve blood flow to the brain, which can help improve your cognitive function and memory. Question 3. During the school week, do you engage in any physical exercise outside of school hours? Yes, sometimes, or no. It is scientifically proven that eating a healthy diet can help support brain function. Try to eat plenty of fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats. Considering that, which of the foods below would not be an appropriate snack to eat whilst revising? A banana, processed food, dark chocolate, crisps, or berries? There could be more than one answer. When preparing for exams, it is essential that you stay hydrated. Drinking plenty of water can help keep your brain hydrated and functioning at its best. Question 5. True or false? High caffeine energy drinks are better for your brain than water. Another thing that can help you prepare for revision is, of course, taking breaks. It's important to take breaks while revising to give your brain a chance to rest and recover. Question 6. How would you spend your 15-minute break after studying a subject that you find difficult? Having a positive mindset. Studying can often be stressful, particularly when you have multiple subjects to study for. It is therefore important to remember that you can achieve positive outcomes if you stay focused, organised, and disciplined. Why do you think it is important to have a positive mindset during revision? And finally, treating yourself. After a productive day of revising, try to do something that you enjoy. Question 8. Why do you think it is a good idea to reward yourself after a productive day of studying? Part 2. Preparation for revision. We are now on page 5 of your workbook. When getting ready to study, it is important that you have a workspace ready for study. It's important that you find a workspace that is quiet and free from distractions, has a comfortable chair for you to sit in, has enough space for all your books and equipment, that is well lit, and has a place to display your revision and exam timetables so you can keep track of your study. When students are studying for their exams, they can quite often get distracted. The most common forms of distractions include hearing loud noises, getting distracted by their mobile phone and social media, getting distracted with the TV or games consoles being on in the background, experiencing tiredness, being hungry or thirsty, and as well as that, procrastination. The statements on the board are possible solutions to the distractions from the previous slide. Try to match up the most appropriate solution to the distraction that we just went through. They are leaving your phone in a different room or turning your phone to airplane mode, studying in a room with no TV, sticking to a planned revision timetable with clear targets and goals, wearing noise cancelling headphones, getting 8 to 10 hours of quality sleep, eating healthy food and drinking water regularly. In the run-up to exams, you should try to make weekly plans. You should allocate an appropriate amount of time to all subjects. If there is a subject or subjects that you feel you require extra time on, then aim to include this in your timetable. It is often a good idea to revise the areas you find most difficult first, to get them out of the way and to build your confidence up in that subject. Planning your revision timetable and having the willpower to stick to it will help you be successful. When preparing your timetable, try to plan each revision session between 30 and 45 minutes. Short bursts of revision are more effective than longer sessions as you begin to lose focus. Aim to include short breaks between each revision session. 10 to 15 minutes break between each session will give your brain the chance to rest and to refocus. Remember, you do not have to fill in all sessions. Try to maintain any sport, music or other extracurricular activities that you have outside of school. This will be a welcome distraction. Set realistic goals and targets, and most importantly, focus on the tasks and not on the time. The examples above give you a demonstration of how your revision timetable should look. It's important that whenever you're planning your revision, that you plan what subject you're going to study and what topic within that subject you're going to study. Try to keep it focused. As well as that, you will notice that each of these revision sessions are 30 minutes long. It is better to have shorter revision sessions that are very focused rather than having longer revision sessions and not being productive during them. Make sure that you plan for breaks within each revision session. Pages 9 through 10 give you a framework for a revision timetable, and pages 11 and 12 contain a calendar which you should use your exam timetable to record carefully all of your exams. This will give you a very good visual overview of the exams coming up over the next few weeks. Using the exam timetable that you've been provided with, you should insert all of your exams into the following timetable contained within your study skills booklet. Part 3. Strategies for revision. For your revision to be effective, you must be active and organised. Active revision is about using and organising your information. Active revision techniques can include the following. It can include making summary notes, using flashcards, testing yourself, drawing mind maps, and using cover and check techniques. Passive revision is when a person reads over their notes or workbooks. According to research, students can only retain about 10% of the information from passive revision. Passive revision techniques include lecturing, where it's estimated that students only absorb 5% of information. Reading, only absorbing 10% of information. Through audio or visual, so watching videos or a documentary, they only retain 20%. Watching a demonstration, they're only learning or absorbing 30% of information. However, active learning techniques and revision includes discussion, so discussing with your peer group or a group of friends. Practicing doing, so again that would involve doing past paper questions and using active techniques such as making notes, making mind maps, drawing revision posters. And one of the most effective forms of learning and revision is teaching others. So after you've put together your notes and after you've begun to learn the content, it would be a really good idea then to share this information with your friends by testing each other or talking out the topics to one another. There are many types of learning styles, and people tend to have a preference for certain approaches to learning. Some common learning styles include visual learners. These people learn best through seeing information, such as through charts, diagrams, and pictures. Another learning style is auditory learners. These people learn best through hearing information, such as through lectures, discussions, and listening to recordings. Reading and writing learners. These people learn best through reading and writing, such as through textbooks, notes, and written instructions. And finally, we've got kinesthetic learners. These people learn best through a hands-on experience and physical activities. It is possible that you could be one of these, or like most people tend to be a combination of two or more. In the last few pages of your work booklet, you're going to be introduced to a range of different study techniques which you could use to help you in your own revision. Many of these you've probably already heard about, but this is maybe an opportunity for you to try out some strategies that maybe you have not tried before, and maybe this is an opportunity for you to see, well, what type of learner am I? Page 15 of our workbook. One of the most important aspects when beginning to study is, of course, putting together effective notes. The purpose of note-taking should be to distinguish between what is important information and what is supporting information. Effective notes should make recall of information quicker and easier. So when writing summary notes, make sure to summarize and not just copy information out from your textbooks or workbooks. If you're just copying information out from your textbooks, then this is not going to be very effective, or your brain is not going to absorb it. Try to put the information into your own words, so maybe deconstruct sentences and reconstruct them using your own language. And last but not least, try to reduce everything you need to know about a single topic down onto one page. When putting your notes together, it's important that you make sure that your writing is neat, because you need to be able to read it. As well as that, try to use as much colour as possible. Now, the purpose of colour is not to make your notes look lovely, but they're actually there to get your brain interested. So colour coding important information in a certain highlighter, or really important information, writing it in red to really make it stand out. As well as that, you can underline important information to emphasize its importance. As well as that, it's important not to overcrowd your page. Leave space to write in any additional information once you review your notes. And as well as that, particularly for visual learners, it's important to use symbols like arrows, bullet points, diagrams, and other visual aids to go along with your bullet points. As well as that, it might be important to use post-it notes as well to supplement your main notes. Flashcards are one of the most effective active learning methods. They should include colour, pictures, maps and facts, and be a short summary of key points from the content that you have learned. So, how would you use flashcards? Well, on one side of a flashcard, you should write down a keyword. On the reverse side or the back of the card, write down a simple definition or an illustration of the keyword. Once you do this for an entire topic and you feel that you have learnt off all definitions, well, maybe it's time to get someone to test you. This could be a family member, or it could be a friend, or you could do it by yourself by choosing cards out randomly. Another incredibly effective active learning technique is, of course, mind maps. These are very effective for people who are visual learners, because mind maps tend to have an entire topic on one page, and it's encouraged for them to be as colourful as possible. When you're putting together a mind map, it's important to work from the centre and to work outwards. Using arrows or branches, you can then explore different areas of the topic. These colours can depict different themes, they can depict different associations, or they can be used to make things stand out. Another common method within mind maps is, of course, making sure to include images or other visual aids like little diagrams as well. The reason why mind maps are so effective is that whenever they are done right, they are full of colour, they are full of images along with your keywords, and if you are a visual learner, your brain will absorb a lot of this information. When putting together mind maps, the key point is to be creative. The more creative you are, the more likely you will remember the information. Revision posters are great for condensing the relevant material onto one page. Once completed, you could stick the completed poster onto your wall. When creating a revision poster, aim to use plenty of colour, use highlighters, draw images and symbols, and try to use a variation of writing styles and techniques to differentiate different aspects of your topic. This is quite similar to mind maps. Using post-it notes can be incredibly effective when studying. For kinesthetic learners, they often find using post-it notes an effective form of study, because what you can do with them is that you can write information on the post-it note, and you can stick these post-it notes around the room that you're studying in, or you can stick them around your house. And as you walk around the house, you can test yourself on that particular knowledge. Kinesthetic learners like to be active, they like to walk around, and post-it notes allow the kinesthetic learner to review their learning as they walk around their study room or around their house. They can test their knowledge by talking out the topic as they walk from room to room or within their study room. An effective form of revision for auditory learners is using sound recordings. The auditory learner finds it effective to hear the information that they are studying. After making summary notes, the auditory learner could use their phone or another electronic device to record themselves talking through their notes. Once this has been saved on their device, the auditory learner can listen back to their recording. Alternatively, the auditory learner could present the topic to a friend, a family member, or even a classmate to get feedback on their learning. Cover and check. After revising a topic, it would be a good idea to review your knowledge. You can do this by briefly looking over your notes. After you've done this, covering your notes or putting them away, taking a blank page and writing everything you know about the topic on that page. After you've done this, get your original notes and check your written response. In a different colour pen, write in the information that you did not include. If you have to do this multiple times, this can help you focus on the information that you forget. Another important strategy for revision is the creation of diagrams. Particularly with subjects like technology and geography and science, you will often see diagrams. Similar to posters and mind maps, diagrams are an excellent visual aid when revising. An effective diagram will use lots of colour and will use effective labelling to distinguish what is important and what is not. The final revision strategy that you could perhaps use is teach it. Take a topic and teach it to a friend who is preparing for the same test. Put yourself in the position of the teacher and try to explain the topic to a friend as if they are one of your students. When doing this, you could bring along visual aids such as diagrams, mind maps and posters that you perhaps put together during your revision, and you can explain these to your friend, or it could even be a family member. Additionally, you could also use a mini whiteboard to help explain the key concepts. The person that you are teaching can also give you feedback on the content that you have just delivered. Part 4. Taking care of your mental health. Page 20 of your workbooks. Taking care of your mental health. Studying for exams can sometimes be stressful, particularly whenever you are preparing for multiple exams. It is therefore important for you to find techniques that will help you overcome any anxiety or stress that you may feel. Some common strategies for dealing with stress during exams include taking breaks during revision sessions. After a 30 or 40-minute revision session, aim to take a 10 or 15-minute break and do something that you enjoy. As well as that, during your breaks, try to avoid napping and procrastination. Whenever taking a break, make sure to get away from your workplace, go for a walk and change the scenery. And finally, when taking a break, do something to relax. As well as that, you can also prepare your body for when it comes to exam time by eating healthy food and having snacks to keep up your energy levels. Making sure that you drink plenty of water so your brain is well hydrated. And you should also make sure to get enough sleep, preferably 8 to 10 hours per night. Another way to de-stress is of course getting regular exercise. Keeping active during exams is incredibly important. Go out for walks during your revision break. Continue on with your extracurricular activities, which will also add a welcome distraction to your studies. And as well as that, get plenty of fresh air. Furthermore, it's also important to take time to relax. This could include practicing things such as mindfulness, maybe listening to music during your breaks, or keeping in touch with your friends. And finally, one of the most important ways to take care of your mental health during exam time is keeping in touch with your friends. Don't isolate yourself. As well as that, if you need help in a subject or you're worried about a particular topic, make sure you ask your teacher during class time for help. And if you still feel worried, reach out to your teachers. We are always here to help you. And finally, good luck in your exams. Apply yourself, be disciplined, be organised, and it'll all be worth it in the end.